Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
all the way out from the eastern states of Georgia, we swing out west to just outside of Los Angeles. Welcome to the Irwindale Speedway, here for more racing action on Sunday nights. My name is Noel Rambo, bringing you all of the action from the Irwindale Speedway for round number 6 of the ASRL Xfinity Series. Boy, what a special racetrack this is, and of course Irwindale sadly becoming the newest track on iRacing's list of racetracks that will soon no longer exist in the real world, but here it has been immortalized, and we get sent to witness this facility in all its glory as we will race for 250 laps around this little half-mile bull ring. This is a racetrack that really kind of is the Darlington of racetracks. The actual racing groove is narrow. It is all the way up on the outside, right by the wall, and while you can use the apron, it is usually not advised, especially if you want to be going for overtakes. So this race is going to be one of the most unique short track races we have ever had the chance of covering on the oval side of things here on Green Flag TV, and it is going to be one heck of a show indeed. Taking a look at the point standings, entering racing action this afternoon, where Joshua Hagee still remains up on top with ESGI Motorsports number 7, just 7 points ahead of one Brody Gunter. Josh Rutherford sits 30 points back from Gunter, back at the number 3 spot with Austin Cole trailing in a distant 4th, and drivers like Garcia, Howland, and even Williamson looking set to try and punch their ticket into the 300-point bracket this afternoon, but very much a two-horse race at the head of this field with Joshua Hagee and Brody Gunter up at the front for ESGI Motorsports and Brody Gunter's 510 Racing Machine. And we'll be able to take a rundown, show you what a couple of laps of qualifying look like here at the Irwindale Speedway. This is on board with Mark Krinke, and a lot of fierce sun glare right now coming off of turn number 4, and you see how much he's ripping it right up by that outside wall. The double white, the dotted white lines on the bottom side, that tends to be where the racing line is. Again, possible to race below that, but you're in for a water hurt. As you can tell, Krinke struggling to side braking points. He only goes into the number 14 spot on his opening lap, and coming back around through 3 and 4 this time by What will the second lap be? Tracks up right by the wall and improves, but only up to 13th place. So that's what a couple of laps look like around the Irwindale Speedway. It's a very unique track, and of course, pit road situated down on the infield. Typically, pit road is on the exterior of the racetrack, but on iRacing, at least on the outer layout, pit road is actually on the inside, and that is where all the Lucas Oil signage is. See Krinke in pit road now. That's a separate inner circuit, and that is part of where the figure 8 track lies. That no doubt a lot of races that have fooled around on iRacing will be well aware of. There's an inner layout you can run around, the tiny oval in there as well. Perfect for stuff like bandoleros, and of course, there's a unique outer to inner layout where you enter the regular turn 1 and 2, but then 3 and 4 cuts into that interior. So there's several unique layouts around this racetrack, but today we are running the much more traditional full outer layout for racing action this afternoon. And qualifying has drawn to a close, so we'll be able to take a rundown of what your starting grid looks like for the next 250 laps. Pole position headed up by Austin Cole, just 300ths off the mark as Matt Schlosser. Half a tenth back is Brody Gunter with Ray Garcia in 4th. The top 2 rows separated by less than a tenth of a second on a half-mile short track. Jake Erickson starts in 5th, just 4th thou ahead of Dylan Grutzmacher. Nate Morris will start in 7th with Jarrell Williams back in 8th. Alex Howland is in 9th. Tommy Cook closes out the top half of this field in 10th. Joshua Hagee, the current points leader entering tonight, starts his ESGI Motorsports number 7 from the 11th place spot alongside Carson George. From there, Mark Krinke is in 13th with Matthew Croak in 14th for Kenny Hoffman Racing. Then it's Matt Williamson and Corey Rutherford. Travis Fleming and Mike Hamlin back on row number 9. And field is headed up by Dave Seats and Casey Campbell. The bottom 3 cars not putting down lap times. So the field just about set to rumble this afternoon as we are just now waiting on The last 3 cars to group on up before we'll get racing action underway. The stage will come at lap 125 this afternoon. And of course, tonight's race being brought to us by both Tommy Cook and Matt Williamson from turn 200. And we will roll out with Mike Hamlin and Dave Seats both not making the starting call, so we are down to just 18 cars for the initial start of this race. First of 2 pace laps underway before that iRacing pace truck makes the sharp dive into pit road. Again, 250 laps. It's a long race tonight, and it's going to be one of the more unique races that we've seen on the short track scene for Greenflight TV. As Austin Call and Max Schlosser will lead the way into turn numbers 1 and 2 for the final time. The iRacing pace truck set to make its dive into the pits this time around. And we are ready to rumble this afternoon in the hands of the Skittles number 18 and the Old Mother number 400. Time to once again get the party started. Let's go racing! It's go, go, go from Irwindale Speedway. Well, did not take long for Austin Cole to jump out to an early lead. He is gone up there with the top spot. Meanwhile, everyone behind fanning out, still double file for everything below the top half of the field. Nate Morris and Alex Allen scrapping it out for 9th place as Morris running right down to the inside, burning that right in front of as he tries to track up, with Alex Allen running up by that outside wall. Allen still trying to battle around in the top 8 are single file, so 9th place on down. Starting to get a little bit checked up from all this battling. Morris, he's down there. He's got to get clear. Push up across the nose. Get up to the outside wall and tuck into that outside lane. He's going to do just that. And that leaves Hagee right now down 1 spot and struggling to battle his way back through the order. Caution already, did not take long. We got a couple of cars around it. The fact cars at George's just spun. And George goes into the inside wall, but it started off with Jarrell Williams. The number 24 car taking a spin, and that puts us under the caution flag for the first time tonight. Jarrell Williams was running in 7th place, right behind, he was running in 8th place behind Dylan Grutzbacher. Goes in deep and just going to lose the back end of the zone. Probably got upset on that progressive banking transition down there. And causes him to spin his machine around. And then there you saw Carson George just looping around by himself. And he actually did tag off the inside wall. Tough break for George. Definitely got the worst out of that deal. Set speed and... yeah, man, the second he touched that transition, that car just went on him. I have to imagine that that was absolutely the cause of it. This was George from behind. I don't think he got help. If he did, it would have had to have been from either Alex Hamilton or Joshua Hagee. Well, he did get help. He got hit from the backside by the O2 to spin him down. And the driver, the number 7, able to just get around this as watch that 85 car up top. Right about here, they check up for the wreck and just spins across Hagee's nose and tags into the inside wall. And that will take us around to 1 lap to green as the field set to re-rack, restack, and go back at them. Didn't take long for caution number 1 on the afternoon. One incident was self-inflicted. That brought out the yellow. The second crash was with contact, but it's checking up for the first. Early launch, Boston Colony takes off. Green flies back in the air as racing action resumes. Top 4 quickly getting in line. Tommy Cook trying to pull clear around the high side of Dylan Grutzmacher. He's going to do just that. Further behind, Carson George and Matthew Croak. Going side by side with Haggy and Krinkak just behind them. Rough battling up here as Brody Gunter loses out to a podium position potentially. So looking like Brody Gunter may have had an issue. And we'll check in on how Brody Gunter. Oh boy, hello, Rene Garcia getting up and into the wall. This is how Garcia initially got around Gunter. Whoa, Gunter got loose and checked hard into the outside wall. That's why we saw a massive scramble. And it is a scramble that is going absolutely nowhere as they work their way off of turn 4. Garcia still right behind Gunter in that battle for the number 3 spot. Just behind them, Matthew Croak and Nate Morris going at it. Croak nearly catches the tire bundles that separate the track from the exterior pit road. And Nate Morris quickly scrambles to the inside, trying to make whatever ground he can muster, but there's just not a lot of grip to work with down there, and he's going to drop back. He's not the only driver trying for it, though, as Joshua Hagee going to kind of get involved in the mix as well. Just behind, so is Matt Williamson and Mark Krinkay. Tell you what, though, a lot of good racing in the early stages of this. A lot of side-by-side as Hagee and George still scrapping out amongst themselves. Krinkay has got Williamson tucked underneath, and Matt Williamson trying to push up from the bottom. No joy, though, still for the 199 as he is just really fighting to get any kind of momentum working with them down on the inside of the racetrack. Loses out to Rutherford, loses out to Williams, and now here comes Travis Fleming up high. Fleming gonna work to the top shelf. And now Krinkay diamonds to the bottom of Carson George. Casey Campbell and Matt Williamson so far in lockstep. Lap times under 20 seconds, causing this race to fly by. We are already working lap 21. But still 230 laps and a long way to the checker flag in this one. Krog loses one spot to Nate Morris as Morris going to sleep through, picks up 8th. Oh, Morris getting a little loose there, middle of 1 and 2. Gotta be careful of that. He's going to get it back underneath him, though. Battle for 5th still on as well as Tommy Cook is trying to fend off Dylan Grutzmacher. Grutzmacher gets to the back bumper, gives him the bump and run. Cook sideways, able to pedal it and recover though. That lets the 45 of Jake Erickson track up behind him. Getting a wee bit dicey now. This is Dylan Grutzmacher. And that was after the contact already. Carson George seems like he's had an off. This is on lap 20. This is what happened to him. This is about 10 laps ago. Oh, got sideways, checked into the wall. Big spun to the inside. No caution, though. We kept it green. He took the toe to the pits. George is out of the race. A lot of the battles for position still in the back half of the field, as a lot of the guys in the front half have really started to kind of pull away. There is the battle for the race lead. Already not too far away from lap traffic as Matt Schlosser keeps trying to run down Austin Call, and so far hasn't really been able to get there, and I think he's going to have to wait all the way until they get to lap traffic before he can really start to go for a proper offensive. Although I say that, goes for a big lunge and almost got, it closed in about a 10th and a half there on 1 and 2. You heard him downshifting as well, trying to get a better drive mid and off corner. Oh, look how round goes Croak! Croak sideways, and caution comes out for the second time tonight. Second yellow flag of the race. This saves a good chunk of drivers from being caught up in lap traffic, Croak among them. Let's find out what happened to the 0-2. So he was kind of already up at the outside wall. Back in comes around again. Hagee just able to avoid. And around goes the 0-2 towards the inside wall. On board with Croak. Downshifted, got up, tagged the wall, scraped along, and then, yeah, just spun the wheels up. Little bit too eager getting on the power. And that was with Hagee, just again avoided another one. Dylan Grutzmacher making the very interesting choice to come down to pit road. One of those racetracks where pit road almost works to a benefit of these drivers because of how narrow and how shallow the corner is. You can actually come down to pit road in theory with a drive-through and overtake people in pit road, but that would require doing a drive-through and not taking surface. And the question is that worth it? My money is on no. It's not worth a chance. He's not the only one, by the way. Grutzmacher, we mentioned him coming down to pit road. He's getting damage repairs. So is Croak, Fleming, and Campbell. Matt Williamson, though, taking fuel only. He is already back out on the racetrack. Fleming might not make it out, and looks like he did. The lights are out aboard the iRacing pace run, so these guys are going to have to hustle if they want to catch up. Coming around 3 and 4, Austin Cole is the control car. Picked the outside line for the restart. Not surprised, as we're back to racing. Garcia's already in the fence. 45 of Ericsson going to lose a boatload of positions. As the double file remains off of 4. A lot of squabbling for all of the spots deep in the field. For the most part, everyone kind of running very, very cleanly. As far as short track racing goes, like I said, this has been a pretty good race so far. Lots of side by side, lots of battling. Oh boy, Nate Morris washing up, goes up the track, might have had some help from from Williams. And he's gonna scrape the outside wall again in 1, hits it again in 2. Morris really using up the right side of that race car. We talked about it a lot on the week's approach to this race, about how this is an unfamiliar racetrack. It is an unknown quantity to these guys. And it's a quantity that, well, you really have to be careful about how you work it. Just behind them, Gerald Williams and Nate Morris going at it. As Morris again into the outside wall. Now looking for 3 with Grutzbacher down low. Dylan Grutzbacher still hounding the low side. While up front, Nate Morris takes to the inside, trying to pull the slider on Howland. Can't get it, though. Too much space left for Howland running down. Can he clear this time out of 2? No! Howland runs it back from a quarter second to pull alongside with the door. Man, Morris has got to try something here, because what he's doing right now just isn't working. Look at how big of a drive Howland gets here off of turn 2, down the backstretch. Oh, actually not quite as much that time. And that finally lets Howland clear. As meanwhile, Travis Fleming to the inside, 3 wide off of turn number 4. And still 3 as they rocket back around to turn 1. Fleming might be able to get 2 here. Not. Yes, I think he has. He's got it. Great move there from the Evidence Signs and Graphics number 26 Mustang. Grutzbacher out letting go without a fight, slings to the inside, but just no match for that outside pole. Alex Howland, the next driver under threat in this pack here. As now we see Howland started to drop back. Well, it's been a journey of a race so far, as Howland just gets into the side of the 26 and puts him offline for turn 1, and Grutzbacher gets through as well. Still looking like Dylan Grutzbacher may have used up all of his equipment, and he's going to get turned by Williams. Around goes Howland, and Crow gonna punt the 2 up into the air. Caution comes out for the third time tonight. And this is how, as he is going to loop it. Out of turn 4, courtesy of Jarrett Williams. Well, right front to left rear. Now Williamson gets a piece, and then Crow just piles into the 24. Well, caution number 2 on the afternoon, and still a long way to go. We'll be back in a moment on Green Flag TV.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back to Green Flag TV, getting set to go back to Green Flag Racing. Big round of pit stops has taken place under this yellow flag, and that is shaking up the field. Top 4 stayed out. Garcia, Krinke came down for fuel only, and everyone else was in for fresh tires. Green Flag comes back out, and then early launch there from Cole. Leaves the pack behind in his dust, and already Gunter looking to make it 3. Takes one away from Krinke, trying to take another away from Ericsson. We are past lap 50, less than 200 laps to go. Garcia's into the wall. And Gunter struggling to find his way past these drivers on old tires. Gotta still use caution. It's still easy to wash up even on fresh rubber. Max Schlosser under fire by Corey Rutherford. Rutherford's got fresh tires, and he's lunging up top behind. Trouble! Ground goes Fleming. Caution! And for the 4th time, we slow it down. And this one looking like it may have been with help. So we'll take a look back, find out what happened, and no, not with help, just lost it by himself. Garcia just gets through up top. Good job on the field to miss this one, as that brings our 4th caution out of the night. Curious to get thoughts from our bull sitter on this call to stay out this time by. Let's bring Oscar to the broadcast booth. Austin, this is Noel Rempel. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, you've led every lap so far this race, but you stay out on the call last caution by. What's the decision on that?
I think they made the wrong choice. I want to stay out as long as I can on these set of tires. By whatever means they may be. I'm not, so didn't pit. I'll pit whenever I run out of field, pretty much.
It's been a very unique short track run so far. One of the most unique short tracks on the service. How is your approach different from this one as opposed to a place like Bristol or Richmond?
Well, I basically don't have to save tires here. because it's not like it's very easy to pass anyways. And I mean, before the race, I think Brody said the only way you can really pass is if you're on 80 lap pressure tires in the car in front of you, and that seems to be pretty true. So I'm hoping I can at least put up a fight whenever Matt and Brody get to me, but we'll see.
All right, we'll wish you the best of luck. So far, you've led every lap tonight. Let's see how long you can hang on.
All right, thank you.
Austin Cole out of Spring, Texas, currently leading the way from Irwindale Speedway. I would like to refute the idea that you cannot pass unless you have fresher tires. It is possible. It just takes a lot of laps and a lot of patience, and it's not always going to be pretty. Well, lights out. We're ready to go. Green flag coming out this time by, and we are racing once again. Max Schlosser working to the inside of Joshua Hagee. And that number 7 making tracks up top, trying to get the run on Austin Cole. No dice this time. But still, racing wherever you look on this racetrack. Max Schlosser looking for the inside. He's got 54 lap pressure tires than the car in front. Trying to fight to the back bumper of the Skittles Gummies, number 18. Toyota Supra. Stuffing it in deep, trying to make the move. Backs out, gonna try to sling that one down low. Right up there, gotta be careful on leaning on the door. Again, gotta be careful with making a pass. It's so difficult to do, even if you are on fresher tires, and you can see how much he's trying to scare Cole, and the giving him the spot call is not budging. Schlosser's got the nose in on the outside, sends that one around the top shelf. And that should do it, unless he catches the outside wall, which he does. But no dice, and Schlosser to the lead. First lead change of the night, just as we take over to 180 to go. Meanwhile, Krinke, Garcia, Morris still under a blanket. Tommy Cook getting in the mix. Caution, and we got 2 of them up into the outside wall. There's Gerald Williams and Casey Campbell both around. And they might end up going a lap down here. Nope, they managed to get going. So this is what happened up to turn number 1. This is Gerald Williams. Where's Casey Campbell? He's behind. So Williams lost it by himself, and just nowhere for Casey Campbell to go. Yeah, just plowed in and T-boned him in the door. Tough break, but such is racing. Saw him already a little bit loose out of turn 4. That no doubt didn't help his case. Now, apparently Dylan Grutzmacher may have had an issue. This was back on lap 54 when Grutzmacher was coming to pit road here. Apparently something may have happened to the driver of the 388. Oh, clipped the K-rail. And the report that we got was 7 minutes worth of damage from that? I don't know if I buy that one. I wonder what angle he hit it at. I wonder if maybe he caught a leading edge that kind of ripped the toe out. That would be my only explanation. Yeah, he caught the leading edge. All right, yeah, not exactly a glancing blow then. Man, that's a tough break. That is why Grutzmacher now sits about 15, 16 laps down, thereabouts. Matt Schlosser takes us back to the green flag. As boy, Nate Morris really getting up and personal with the outside wall. A lot less side-by-side on this restart, same for this little cluster right around the edge of the top 10. Austin Cole came down for tires under this pit stop, and now takes a spot away from Howland and is now charging after Nate Morris. So Cole beginning his rise back through the field. Trouble, turn 2. Howland around, Fleming around, and caution comes out again. Our 6th yellow flag of the night. So Travis Fleming right in a battle pack with Alex Howland in front, Corey Rutherford behind. And if things condensed, Fleming to the back of Howland, and that's what spins the 2 car around, and then Rutherford into the back of Fleming. Bit of an accordion effect on that deal. One gets into the next, and it's on from there. And, woo boy, Matt Williamson making a good dodge up high. This is from Williamson's view. I'll take that. Several cars in a pit road, including Austin Call, Croak, Rutherford, Howling, and Fleming are also in. Oh, Call missing the box. Devastating mistake for Call's race. Just topping up on fuel and then going, but that has really put him in a bind. So 6 caution flags, and just a reminder again that there is a time limit of 2 hours on all of these races. So far, the only one where I think we've actually hit it has been Daytona International Speedway. And we hit that time limit on the final lap under yellow. Short tracks, though, an equally viable place to see them come into play. Green flag coming out this time by Restart Zone, and on the lap pedal is Schlosser. And as per, a lot of drivers making moves wherever they can muster, and Garcia Gets in a Hegan, spins the SGI number 7 around. Big crash. 5, 6, 7. Howland slips through the middle, and the big one on the front stretch puts us under the caution flag for the 7th time tonight. Boy, I hate to say, you could kind of see that one coming a mile off. Garcia just got to the back of the 7, took him out in the left rear, spun that machine around right in front of traffic. Krinke escapes. No, he doesn't. He had the hood flop up. And then everyone just piles in behind, except for Howland, who just barely sneaks through the middle. Quite a few cars collected up in this mess. As right there's the smallest of taps, and hey, smallest of taps, it's all it takes. So this has sent a lot of cars into pit road now for damage repairs as a result. Right on board with Howland here, as he is just barely going to slip through the middle. Oh, where do I go? Where do I go? Oh, I'll go this way. I'll just keep going straight and it'll work out. Starting to rank them up there. Had a pretty tame opening 50 laps or so, as we were able to go that with only 2 cautions, and now we've racked up another 5 since then. Only 8 cars are double file, as a lot of others are stuck in pit road. Green flag back in the air. We are working lap 91 of 250. Down to just 13, 14 cars on the racetrack. That melee took out a lot of heavy hitters. Behind them, Alex Howland able to make the move on Casey Campbell, slots into 7th. Croak and Krinke going at it as Mark Krinke gets around him. Croaks up into the wall. A lot of wall scraping going on as drivers really trying to flirt with the boundary lines. Behind them, Austin Call, caution! And it is for Erickson, the 45. And boy, he has had a hit somewhere as that car is crabbing something fierce. Taking a look and has lost it off of 2 by himself, snapped hard into the outside wall, ran over by Howland, and that spun him down, and that will no doubt be what has torn that car up. Again, another rough break, and we'll be back with more in a moment on Green Flight TV.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Then he's set to go back to green flag racing. Down to just 6 cars being double file. Everyone else catching up as a result of remaining to pit road for damage repairs. Green flag back in the air. We start lap 101. Only 11 cars remain on the lead lap. We still have 14 still circulating with, so far, 4 DNFs and 2 DNSs. And this is the exact reason why Dylan Grutzmacher oh, look out in front, the 0-2. Catching the wall, Matthew Krug nearly putting the Kenny Hoffman Racing Supra around. Close shave there, but again, this is why Dylan Grutzmacher, despite having 7 minutes of repairs, decided to come back out. Because he has now made up 2 spots as a result of drivers finding problems after he crashed. It's not a bad idea to keep circulating because you really never know what's going to happen next. Tommy Cook catches the wall. And he's going to go around. Loops it. No caution yet. Corey Rutherford to really jam on the brakes, but we'll keep it green. Rutherford saw it coming, and he was already slowing up, so didn't really have much to worry about with it. About 42 minutes deep into this race, so about an hour and 17 left to go if this race were to finish up on time. Make that an hour and 12 minutes. So as of right now, it is still possible for this race to finish up on laps, but that window is pretty quickly closing. For the back, Alex Howland and Joshua Hagee still in the battle, as well as Campbell and Krinke. So 4th and 6th. And in the battles, and Krinke pushing off for the bottom. Nearly getting up into the door of the car just above him. And makes short work as he is clear. Campbell started the run away, but he's going to fall to Grutzmacher, who's got a little bit fresher rubber, despite being several laps down. Brody Gunter started to run down Matt Schlosser here. Taking a look at the lap count, the difference in lap times. You see that the last couple, Gunter has been reeling him in. And overall, that gap is coming down for the top two. And this all happening as we approach the halfway mark of this race. Lap traffic likely going to play a huge factor now into how this race pans out, especially for the race win tonight. Corey Rutherford down low, lets Gunter close just a bit more. Now dead even on lap times, that time by. And 30 laps on the boards, 30 to go before we, 5 to go before we hit halfway. And Schlosser's now again having a battle with lap traffic as Travis Fleming gets in the way. So Fleming up top started to hold up that old mother 400 entry, and that is allowing for Gunter to reel in the gap. Two laps to go this time by in the opening stage. And at the line this time by, Gunter has no answer, so it'll be Matt Schlosser winning stage one. Gunter will be second, then Morris will take third, Allen fourth, just ahead of Hagee and Krinke, then Campbell will be in seventh, Austin Call back in eighth, Matthew Croak. 1 lap down, will be in 9th with Travis Fleming securing 10th. Battles on as Hagee to the inside of Alex Howland. And makes up a relatively easy spot. That was for 4th. Says, thank you very much. I'll take that one away from you. Mark Krenke now tracking for the inside. Alex Howland sends one up top. And Howland maintains his run, but I think he might fall here to Krenke. Krenke, of course, on 16-lap pressure tires. And just clears across the nose of the 2. Oh, but he's starting to get a little bit loose. Howland checks up. And we're able to survive, but not by much. Meanwhile, the gap for the lead still closing. About 0.3 of a second separate them both. Gap shrinks down 1/4 of a second now. Boy, these guys are just hounding each other to get whatever they can get their hands on. Tenth and a half now. Never mind, it extends back up to 3. Now it closes. Gunter's there. Gunter's there, looks for the inside. Tracking to the inside of Matt Schlosser. Schlosser, though, fighting him up top. Neck and neck, almost contact with the door that time. And Schlosser fighting for his life right now to keep his race lead. Ahead of the 510 racing driver of Brody Gunter. Still can't get to him. And finally forced to top back in line. Schlosser has just fought off one of the best in the business. Brody Gunter might have smoked that right front trying to get the job done, and now he's going to have to spend some time running behind him, getting that tire cooled back down to where it needs to be. But this fight, rest assured, is not over. He is going to be trying, and caution comes out. Tommy Cook goes around, puts us under the yellow flag for the 9th time tonight on what was one of our longest green flag runs. Off of turn 4. Loose into 3. Howland, a little bit of a netcode jab there. Sort of a half spin to correct him and get going. Well, this will be real interesting to see what these guys do now when they hit pit road, because I'd assume everyone's going to be in this time around. And everyone is. Except one. Hagee stays out. Everyone else is in. Sure enough, 4 tires and fuel looking to be the call. Well, while we have this chance, we can give a shout out to the folks that helped keep the lights on for the American Sim Racing League's Sunday Night Cup Series. TWR Setups, meticulously crafted, personally run by their top-tier drivers to ensure you get the best there is. Don't delay. Join the wild side of setup shops today at twrsetups.com. Flag up top, caution flag will drop, and we are back to racing. And Schlosser looking to make quick work of the number 7 to get to the point. Hagee's last pit stop back on lap 88, so no surprise to see him swiftly lose the lead. Austin Call running back and forth for the Texas Independent Racing team. About to battle his way back onto a podium. Still trying to fight back to the lead after he lost that. Decided to make a call on the lap 54 yellow. Oh, look out! Morris and Call both around. Hagee gets collected. Campbell misses it. And caution is out again. Wild crash between Cole and Morris there. As Morris just sent it on Cole. Ran him over, and hard enough that they both went around. And just nowhere for Hagee to go. And that's a pretty hefty lick into the outside wall that he took. On board with Morris. Caution is out. 10th time of the night will return with less than 100 to go. Replay back in the air as Matt Schlosser takes off down to the turn number 1. And already we got problems up in turn number 2. As Williamson catches the wall, Morris gets in, and Campbell and Call are all in there. Wild jump off the hedge, Tommy Cook, Matthew Croak, and more. Just in complete chaos back here. Nate Morris able to get up and around Casey Campbell. And now starts to make tracks. Brooks got called to his outside. And Nate Morris ready to dispatch another. This is what happened off of the green flag. It all kind of fell apart up in turn 1. Wow, Campbell almost took Williamson out. Morris took a hit. Williamson is towed to pit road, and Casey Campbell has brought himself to pit road. Under 100 laps to go in this one as Austin Call and Nate Morris close enough to have a pretty big fight amongst themselves. You can still hear cars digging off the wall every which way as still people have not really figured out the line. A battle of 4 cars here, all on the outside. Hankey, Cook, Call, Morris. Austin Call jumps low. Travis Fleming is the lap car in the bunch. Austin Call, Joshua Hagee, Nate Morris, and oh, we got one. It's Cook, and Cook's out. Tommy Cook withdraws from the race just as the yellow flag comes out, and this is why. This is going to be self-inflicted for sure. As he's gonna just get a little loose. No, what in the world? That's a hardware failure. That's gotta be a hardware failure, surely. No, wait, that's not, right? Let's ride on board. Yeah, that seems pretty cut and dry as a hardware failure to me. Well, this brings a bunch back down to pit road, including Call, Krinke, Howland, Hagee, Croak, Most coming down to try to top up some damage repairs.
We're not going green.
And we are not going to go green. Start's been waved off because Garcia's had an issue up in turn 4. Oh, whoopsie daisy. That's a bit embarrassing. Well, this gives people a chance to catch up at least. Back in the air, Brody Gunter. This time, he's already got the inside of Schlosser. As they go to turn 1, but Schlosser's able to rip clear from up top. Nate Morris running back in 3rd. Then it's Crow, Callan, Higgy to close out the top 5 in the first car in 6th. So it's all eyes on the battle for 6th, the closest fight on the racetrack, with Austin Cole still trying to battle back on recovery.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
And we're going to have to slow it down again as got another incident, but I'm not sure what for. Still don't know what the yellow flag is for. Potentially something to do with Austin Cole. Huh. I gotta be honest, I don't know. I don't know what we got going on here, but gosh, it's out for the 12th time tonight. Coming on up on Green Flag TV, the ASRL Cup Series takes to the Rockingham Speedway on March 25th. With the Speed Cup Series out to round number 7 at the Milwaukee Mile at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time on the 27th and the 31st. Sorry, make that the 30th. With the SRA Truck Series for round 12 at the Darlington Raceway on Saturday. But we'll get back to it. Still don't know what that yellow was for, but a mystery it will remain. Morrison Howland. .72 laps to go. Still on track to finish this race on laps. Well, what an interesting race this has been so far. I mean, this one has been one of the wilder races of the season. It's a real shame that Scott Rankin is missing this one. Unfortunately, he had work call him away elsewhere, so that's why I am solo tonight, but he will be back into the broadcast booth for next week's race at Auto Club. We are down to just 12 cars circulating on the racetrack, 8 of which are on the lead lap. Austin Call, Mark Krinke, Matthew Croak run 5th, 6th, 7th. You saw Fleming getting up into the outside wall. This fight we watch. Still the closest one on track. So off of turn number 4, everything's still rolling smooth and sound. Throughout this field, Austin Call does catch the outside just a little bit. You got a 4th car now getting into the mix. It is, of course, Joshua Hagee starting to approach. Call is under ever-increasing fire for the number 5 spot. And there goes Croak, trying to fend off the run from the 7 as Hagee will take away 7th up top. Krinke to the inside of Call. He sees the 7 car coming. He doesn't want to find himself under fire, but he's not got a choice. Tell you what, Joshua Hagee is moving right now. Screams up to the back of Austin Carr. Can't get the nose in this time by. Now looks to the inside. Sends her in. Call trying to pin Hagee down on the flat. It almost worked. But the 7 car has got this one well under control. Up front, still no changes. Schlosser has been in control of that lead ever since he took it. And Brody Gunter, try as he may, has just not been able to find a way around him. And Krinke now senses vulnerability in Austin Cole as well after he fell to Joshua Hankey. And Krinke steals that one away, and Cole gets loose off of turn 2. So far, Brody Gunter has not been able to really close in on Matt Schlosser. He's been closing in to about 100th a lap or so, but Schlosser's been doing a phenomenal job at working a defensive line to keep Brody Gunter firmly behind him. Before you know it, 50 laps to go at the Irwindale Speedway. Oh, bit of a slip. Gunter smells blood in the water. He can sense those defenses wavering. He can smell another race win. Just as quickly as they came about, he also slips up. He is forced to drop back. Still about 3/10 between Schlosser and Gunter, as the battle for 5th and 6th has dissipated. And as these guys try to hunt each other down, let's ride on board with Gunter for a few laps as he works the problem on Matt Schlosser. You saw Gunter getting close once or twice there. Matt Schlosser, though, really doing a phenomenal job on playing defense here, keeping Brody Gunter behind him, not giving an ounce of weakness for even a second. And no matter what happens from here to the end, this race will finish on laps, as there's too few laps for this race to be decided on time. By far our longest green flag run of the night is the one that also sees a battle for the race lead. Let's take a rundown real quick of how your field shakes up as we enter the closing stages of this one. As Max Schlosser leads the way with Brody Gunter back in the number 2 spot. Half a track behind is Alex Howell with Nate Morris just off of turn 2. Then it's Joshua Hager still in a loose battle with Mark Krinke for 5th place. Austin Cole sits in 7th, and Matthew Croak, the last car of the lead lap, back in 8th. From there, 9th place headed up by Travis Fleming. Right now, the lucky dog driver, 2 laps down, 10 down is Corey Rutherford. Dylan Grutzmacher is 14 down, and Garcia has pulled out of this race, marking this as now an 11-car race with 8 on the lead lap. Cook, Campbell, Williams, Erickson, the other Williams, and George are out of the race, whereas Hamilton and Seats did not make the start. Brody Gunter comes down to pit road, so looking like, I thought this would be a race at the end. Looks like I was wrong, as Gunter comes in for tires and fuel. Not even tires, only fuel. He's off and away. So that has just opened up a new dimension to the race here. As you take a look at the stints for the top 10. Gunter pitted earlier than Matt Schlosser did. So that implies Schlosser is not good to go the distance in this one. Nate Moore is the next one to come down under green flag conditions to pit road. Gotta be honest, I did not expect this to be a race where we would get green flag pit stops, but here we are. 25 to go. The battle for what was 5th and what is now 3rd is still heavy on the racetrack. So Joshua Hagee going to continue to work his own fight here, whereas Krinke getting a little twitchy there, trying to close up to the back of the number 7. He's got to really follow in Hagee's line, I think. I mean, Krinke keeps trying to get some run going on the inside. It's just not working for him. And Matt Schlosser now is into the lane. So Schlosser going to now leave pit road. Now, he did take 4 tires, which is, I find, is an interesting call. Brody Gunter is 9 seconds up the road. The question is, can Schlosser run that gap down? If he can, this is going to be one hell of a fight for the win. Now, if a caution comes out, Schlosser is set unless Gunter and co. have an extra set of tires in the back pocket. Critically, Schlosser did not lose a lap under that yellow flag either. So Hankey and Krinke right now the lone battle on the racetrack. Coming on up for ASRL action in April. After Auto Club, it's Martinsville. Oh boy. One short track extreme to the next as the 250 lapper around Martinsville. Then a week another week of racing around the circuit to 24-hour Du Mans on the no chicanes layout for the Le Mans circuit. That'll be a 20 lapper. Quick break for Easter before we return at Mobility Resort Motegi. Hankey to the inside of Krinke, or sorry, to the outside of Krinke as Krinke goes down low. And Krinke is through. 15 laps to go. Austin Cole trying to keep Brody Gunter behind. Oh, loose! Loose, and Cole nearly took out Brody Gunter. That lets Matt Schlosser close within 4 seconds of him. Boy, that's going to be a fight to watch, assuming everything else has to come down to pit road. But I'm not so sure anymore. I mean, Howland has been running good. And we're, what, less than 20 laps, less than 15 laps to go now. Now, granted, Howland is braking pretty early for these corners, and I think he's trying to see if he can't make the distance, trying to make it work with the fuel. This would be big for him if he could come home and take the win this afternoon. He is lapping right now, almost a second slower than Schlosser. Alex Howland has never won a race in ASRL on Sunday nights. In fact, he has never won any race in his league racing career. The closest he has ever come is third, and that came in the ASRL series, Winter Series, and at Daytona on the road course layout just a few weeks ago. But Krinke running him down, lapping 0.2 a lap faster. 9 to go. It'll be 8 of the line. Can Howland hang on for his first league win in what would be his 103rd league start? The gap down to 8/10. We've seen how hard it is to pass. 7 to go. Can Howland hang on for 7 laps against the charging Mark Krinke? Krinke's got 11 lap pressure tires. He's got the fuel to go the distance. Howland might not. 6 laps. Krinke looking low, looking for the lead. Mark Krinke through, and Howland will have to wait at least one more week to get his first ASRL win. Matt Schlosser also overtakes Brody Gunter. Krinke now. Coming to 4 laps to go. Krinke does not have a lot of races under his belt. This is only his 5th ASRL start. It is his 18th overall league start in accordance with Sim Racer Hub. Two to go, this time by. Does Krinke have enough to pull it off? Travis Fleming is in the pit road. He cannot go the distance. And looking for the white flag. Mark Krinke works Irwindale Speedway for the final time. And the 313 for the first time in his ASRL and Dragonfly racing career goes to victory lane. It's Krinke's maiden win. A stellar drive for Mark Krinke this afternoon as he is able to come home. And he'll be able to use whatever fuel he's got left of that car to burn it down to the front straightaway. And I think he just ran out. No, he did have enough left. Well, Krinke is going to be able to bring him to a park on the front straightaway. No doubt a happy, happy man. Let's take a rundown of your official post-race results this afternoon. As it is Mark Krinke to come home number 1 this afternoon ahead of Alex Howland. Joshua Hankey was in 3rd, Schlosser in 4th, Brody Gunter in 5th, Colin 6th, Croak in 7th. Morris Fleming and Rutherford was back in 10th with Dylan Grutzmacher, the last car to finish racing action tonight. Rene Garcia, Tommy Cook, Jason Campbell, Matt Williamson, Jake Erickson, Jarrell Williams, and Carson George all failed to finish, with Mike Hamlin and Dave Seats failing to start racing action tonight. So with all that said and done, we'll give a chance to give a quick rundown and give a chit chat here to the drivers that come home this afternoon as Mark Krinke will bring home the Racing 3 wide number 313 entry home and into victory lane this afternoon. And we'll get in touch with your race winner now as, well, Mark, you never forget your first. And it is your first race win, as far as I know, in league racing, at least according to the Sim Racer Hub. But talk us through the race tonight. When did you realize you've won this race?
I'll be honest, I didn't really know. I didn't think I was going to do anything. I just kind of knew I was close on fuel, so I came down, topped her off, stayed in 4th that entire run until about 10 to go, saved enough tires, and somehow was able to be good enough to win.
It was a great drive from you this afternoon. Definitely the hard charger, the only driver to go up 10 positions on the afternoon. We saw you attempt to qualify. It looked like the sun was kind of getting into your eyes a little bit there. With the pace you had late in the game, do you reckon you would have qualified higher had that glare not been around?
It wasn't the glare. I just missed my braking point lap 1, got loose in lap 2. But yeah, I probably would have been up there a little bit better.
Well, you've only been running part-time with ASRL for the short time that you've been with us. Are you planning on running more races now that you got a win under your belt?
Yeah, I got plans to run more races. I got more free times on Sunday now. Kind of why I didn't get to start right away.
Well, who knows what's in store for you next. It's your first race win in ASRL, and a big congratulations to you. We'll see you next week, hopefully in Auto Club.
All right. Thanks, Nolan.
Mark Krinke comes home, taking his first ever ASRL win this afternoon. Huge news for him, and the driver that got robbed, it is Alex Howland coming home. And Alex, 103 starts now according to your Sim Racer Hub page, and Your best finish of your career here in second place as well, but wondering, no doubt, what could have been as you get taken for the lead with 5 to go.
Yeah, that one hurt. I realized probably right around lap 203 that I was on the perfect fuel strategy. But unfortunately, I had taken a lot of damage up until then. I was in like 3 incidents, and my last one, the car needed a decent amount of repair. So I was just killing tires, and I knew it'd be a long shot, but I might be in a position to lead some laps in the end and just, hope for the best, but didn't work out.
Well, you're able to still come home and put down a solid drive. And I think the consolation prize, right, is the fact that you're able to still come away with your career best finish in not just ASRL, but again, according to your SRH page, across all of the leagues you've run over the years. Is that of any consolation to the second place this afternoon?
No, not really. I really want to win this year, and I think that, it was the closest I've been to one. I could really smell it there at the end, and just got up into the wall. I think that broke the car the rest of the way, and I just couldn't keep it together. So Mark came past me. Congratulations to him on his first win. Yeah,
Well,
no consolation there.
Well, you're able to, like I said, it's still a good finish at the end of the day. So you can still at least pat yourself on the back for driving the race as good as you could have. Next week is Auto Club. You've pretty fairly secured your position into the playoffs as we work our way through the regular series season. This second place definitely going to help a lot. What do you reckon is in store when we jump around a little bit on the coast of Fontana?
We'll see. I would not have expected the outcome of today. But pit strategy and cautions, they change the race a lot. So we'll just have to see when we get there.
Well, we'll wish you the best of luck at Auto Club Speedway next week. Congratulations on your second place, and we'll see you next time.
All right, thanks.
Alex Howland comes home number 2 this afternoon, and we will look to bring on up the Season 1 champion, Joshua Hankey, will join us up now in the broadcast booth. Josh, you were running up there fighting for some big spots early in the race. At the end of the day, it ends up being a third-place run, so still not a terrible drive at all for the Red Dog Mustang, and overall a finish you can be proud of despite all the carnage this race brought.
Yeah, anybody who came out with a clean car that race is lucky, and probably an advantage too at the end. I fixed a little on the later stints there. I think I had like 3 minutes and got it down to like a minute and a half, but just wasn't enough in the end. I was right on the money for fuel, luckily. We're doing fuel numbers, and I looked down, I was right on the money for fuel, so one thing goes your way and the other doesn't. I'm just sitting here reviewing some of the footage, and there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. It was pretty hectic all night, but fun and different. It's the first time I've done a race here, so just trying to stay out of too many incidents.
It was a great drive overall, and like you say, you're able to still walk away with a great finish at the end of the day. This is the second of 3 short track races, the third one going out to Martinsville, so it seems like each short track race is getting more extreme than the one that came before it, but we look forward as a whole to these short track races. This is definitely one that I think quite a few people had circled. It's something new, a new quantity that not a lot of drivers in the larger NASCAR community have had to deal with. Where did this track fall for you tonight?
I like it. Some people will complain, and some people will say, I like having the ASRL has a lot of, interesting tracks that people don't drive all the time. I think that's cool. Mixes it up. It makes you, maybe put in a little more practice, or like for this series here, I just wait until the hour before the race to really do much practicing. I feel like it's kind of a waste of time, but it's definitely fun mixing it up like that. I've not done a whole lot of different leagues besides this one, but I like it. I've done Martinsville a few times in officials, but to say I know what I'm doing would not be accurate.
Well, before Martinsville, we got to go to Auto Club, just a little ways down the coast. What do you reckon is in store? 120 laps. It's going to be one of the longer races of the season.
Yep, I'm ready. We'll see when we get there. That's about all I got as far as that goes. But congrats to Alex. He was came close to getting a win today. He's been wanting to win. ESGI, Purple Haze, Green Flag, Nolan. I don't know if Scott's up in the booth. You guys for making us all look good or bad, depending on the case, and all the people that organize it, admins and stuff. So it's a fun night.
Well, Scott wasn't able to be here tonight, but I'll definitely pass along your words. Thank you, Josh, and
Okay.
we'll see you next week. Joshua Hankey comes home number 3 this afternoon, and that is going to do it for Race in Action here for the defunct Irwindale Speedway. It's a big shame this track isn't around anymore in the real world. It is it's a real gem on the surface, and one that frankly does not get nearly enough love, if you ask me. Next week, though, it is Auto Club Speedway. Before we get to that, though, we've still got the ASRL Cup Series. Swing it out to Rockingham Speedway on Tuesday afternoon. On Thursday, the Speed Cup Series takes to the flat tracks as they'll hit Milwaukee Mile. And that is followed up by the SRA IEL Truck Series in their 12th race, the Southern Time Lemonade 147 with the Darlington Raceway. And then that will take us straight through to Race in Action once again on Sunday night when we jump down the coastline to the Auto Club Speedway in Fontana. In the meantime, if you want to find out more about who we are and what we can offer you, you can check us out today at www.greenflagtv.com. My name is always Nola Rempel. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next week when we go racing in Fontana.